All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So first, again, I would like to say thank you for everyone who is with us now for our small packet session. So I'd like to introduce myself. Of course, I am Rosemary Lapid, Product Manager for Citrix from WSI, and I will be the host for today's webinar. So I would like to welcome everyone here in this session and thank you again for accepting our invitation for today's webinar entitled Building Business Resiliency with Citrix CVAD and DC. So I hope you invited already your colleagues, especially those sa mga IT natin na may mga teammates. You may invite your team or colleagues para at least is malaman din nila yung idea about the CVAD and ADC. Okay? So let's make this session very interactive as possible. So this is just a small packet session. So if there's a question, please let us know. If there's a comment, please let us know. You can chat or you can even turn on your microphone, I guess, to speak if there's an inquiry or clarification from your end. Okay? So do not hesitate to send us a question in the chat panel anytime. So to be prepared for the next business disruption, organization should assume that it will hit them and it will occur anytime. So regardless if they are prepared or not, it's time to build it resilience with Citrix and join us with this webinar to understand how Citrix technology delivers a seamless approach to business continuity and how to empower people to become fully productive on any device and in any location with helping IT ensure uninterrupted security and control. So I think very nakaka-relate yung mga IT natin, especially don't hesitate to participate or to interrupt because all of us or all of the participants is all invited is IT lang po. Okay? But first, let me give you some important reminders for the house rules. All attendees is placed on mute for a meanwhile and the webinar is being recorded, of course. If you have a question, you may send it on the chat panel on our screen, or and we will get back to you during our question and answer portion. Okay? And also, your feedback is important to us, so tell us how we did. Do not forget to leave your feedback before the end of the session. And the link and QR code will be provided later, and this will be your entry to join the raffle. That's why I'm inviting everyone to join because later we will have a raffle aside from our quizzes or our game later. Okay? So before we proceed with the discussion, let me just introduce to you our company background of WSI, okay? So our company, Wordtext System Inc., or WSI, has been in the business for 40 years. So as a pioneer and one of the leading ID distributor in the Philippines. So maybe some of you you already know who is WSI. And of course, probably there's also introduction regarding sa mga POCs or even mga demos. Okay? So we offer complete IT solution for your business across industries. We have solution for infrastructure, design printing and imaging, security and backup, and communication carrying more than 40 name brands. Okay? Then for more information about WSI and the solutions we offer, you may visit our official website www.wordtext.com.ph. You can also invite or you can also visit our social media accounts. We encourage everyone to feel free to like, share, and follow our social media pages and be updated on the latest IT products and information. Okay? Then lastly, we would like to introduce to you our e-commerce site. So www.WeSellIT.ph, the first pure IT e-commerce site in the Philippines for small and mid-sized businesses. So Visa IT offers a wide range of hardware and software brands. And if you want to know more, you may reach us after this webinar, or you can just go to www.vsellit.ph. Okay? Now, let me introduce our speakers that will help us to know more about the solution of Citrix. Okay? And I would like to introduce the technical support engineer, Mr. Steven Earl Espinosa. And Mr. Royce Christian Mendoza. Yeah, please take the screen. And again, if you have any question, feel free to type in the chat and we will answer them later after the presentation of Steven and Royce. All right? Thank you so much, and I hope you would learn a lot. You will learn a lot about the topic we had for you now. Okay? Thanks, Steven. Royce, please take the screen.
Hi, Miss Rose, and thank you for the invitation. Good
Yes.
afternoon to everyone. I am Steven Arles Pinosilia. So, just to heads up all the attendees, this presentation will be cut into two parts. First, which I will be discussing or presenting is the CVAD part. Then my colleague
Okay.
Royce Christian Mendoza will be the one presenting the Citrix ADC.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, So, let me just share my screen. Hi, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's start. So again, for introduction, I am Steven L.S. Pinosilia, the technical support from WSI. I handle Citrix product and Citrix Digital Workspace. So here to present to you about Citrix Workspace. Although what I've said before is Citrix Virtual Apps. So inside Citrix Workspace is Citrix Virtual Apps. So I will explain that more on later. No? So starting from the beginning, so what is Citrix? So Citrix is uh, started as a remote access products for Microsoft. So Citrix started as a multinational, been in the market for about 20 2 decades, almost to 25 years now. No? So this company was founded on in Richardson, Texas in 1989, as you can see from the dates. Sorry, excuse me. So its headquarters is located at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. No? So it's an American multinational cloud computing and virtualization technology company. Although most commonly known siya before as a virtualization company, being the Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop. No? And at WSI, the solutions we offer here are among the following: no? The project management, which is right. We also have digital workspace, apps and desktop virtualization, load balancer. So these three bullets will be discussed in the following slides, and my colleague also. The application delivery security, the mobile device endpoint management, and secure file sharing. So we're going to start with the main course, which is the Citrix Workspace now. So Citrix is a complete platform for work, wherein we can organize, automate your works. So Citrix Workspace, not to get confused with the what I've said at the beginning, which is Citrix Virtual Apps. So Citrix Workspace is a package of multiple Citrix products, one of which is the Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop, as you can see from my screen. So not only Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop, we also have the content collaboration or the secure file sharing, as I mentioned before, and also the unified endpoint management of Citrix. So so Citrix can virtualize your application and desktop. Not only your application and desktop can even be an on-premise application or even an in-house one. No? So not only that, we can also publish your SaaS or web application to our virtual apps and desktop. No? Now all of this solution is securely delivered since meron din tayong mga network solutions that integrate the applications and desktop. No? We can even leverage mga SSO, multi-factor authentications, and other policies on our application. We also have visibility over our infrastructure since when we use Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop, we have an overview about all users and all of their application and even all of their desktops. No? So what Citrix CVAD can do is it centralize the management of everything when it comes to uh, updates, applications, and desktops. So to give you more info on that. So we can deliver any on any device, which the web applications and SaaS. We also deliver Windows Server applications and desktop, and also Windows Virtual Desktop. Although is supposed to be this is the now called as Azure Virtual Desktop, the Linux applications and desktop, and even a remote PC capability. No? So sample on the right hand side is the sample view of what you can see when you are going to use Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop. So next up is the Citrix Workspace app. So not to get confused with the suite. So this is the Citrix Workspace app, which is the agent of Citrix. So with Citrix Workspace app, it allows yung ating mga endpoints devices na mag-connect sa ating infrastructure. So not only na pwede ang ating mga smartphone, as you can see from the example on my slide. So this can also be downloaded on the internet, even the App Store or Play Store. So if by any chance na ang administrator natin is may restriction with regards to installing on our application, especially kapag ka nagkaroon ng emergency. So our IT administrator can enable an HTML5, meaning pwede natin i-access ang ating virtual Citrix in in the website or Google Chrome in this case, no, in this example. So when we talk about Citrix virtual apps and desktop, we like to focus on our core investment principle. No? So three of which is the experience, the security, and choice. No? And I will discuss this more on the following slide. So starting with the experience, so what Citrix main goal to deliver, especially on the market, is to give the best possible user experience on any device. So not only limited with Citrix virtual apps and desktop, but all of our Citrix solutions. So to give you an example of what Citrix look like, although I've shown it before on the past slide. So as you can see, it's all in a single pane of glass, all the applications, all of the desktop. So no longer natin na mga users natin is kailangan pa mag-dig in or mag-search ng mga application nila from folder to folder, from desktop to desktop. So whichever. So with Citrix, it unifies your experience on a single launchpad of applications, desktop, and even files. So not only that, Citrix is also capable of virtualization of GPUs. So if there are application that requires GPU or any rendering application like yung mga AutoCAD, Photoshop, or uh, any any application that requires rendering. No? So but make sure that that the hypervisor that we are using is GPU capable. No? So they can they can virtualize a GPU like yung sa Citrix hypervisor. Next yung response on every organization. Since before, no, security is most top priority before a organization will be choosing or opting for our product. No. So with this, one of our one of our capabilities through security is the policy controls. No. So these are only some of the example that I am showing to you. Although Citrix has a vast variety of policies that we can implement on not only on our users, also into our infrastructure, to secure it completely. Now all of these policies are powered by the HDX protocol, which is the proprietary protocol of Citrix. So to read it a few, no, yung mga policies na pwede natin i-implement on our user is session recording, map client drives, the USB drives, and even yung clipboard or copy and paste, even yung printer. So again, these are only some of the policies of Citrix. We can also implement a simple two-factor authentication, which is the
Hello? Royce, I think Steven got lost.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you
Hello?
now, Steven.
Nawala ba ako? Nawala ako?
Yeah, yeah, you got
Narinig ko
lost.
si Miss Rose.
Sorry for the a little technical problem with our team. Royce, are you there? Royce and Steven, can you hear us? Can you hear me? Okay. Again, apologies for the interaction or interruption about the presentation. There's just a little glitch with the internet of our presenter. Okay. It's just joining in. Again, attendees, if you have any question, feel free to reach us. And of course, we interested to present, of course, to your team. I hope you could give us an opportunity to present a one-on-one with regards to the whole solution of Citrix. And by the way, I already sent the whole notification, the whole solution that we have under Citrix. Actually, CVAD and ADC is just one of the solution that we can offer for you guys. But we also have the project management, digital workspace, apps and desktop virtualization, load balancer, app delivery security, mobile device endpoint management, and of course the secure file sharing. Okay? Uh, Even let me know if you're ready, or Royce. Yes.
Sorry na nag-cut suddenly ang internet ko.
Okay, sure, sure. You
At
may
Inayos
reshare
ko
it
na lang yung
now.
slides, guys.
Okay, sure, sure. By the way, by April, we will have a end user summit event that will be conducted also of WSI together with the Citrix Global. So I hope you could also attend that event. It will be an per industry event, so there will be a specific day and time that you can log in and join the event for that specific industry, whether from your government, corporate, BFS, any specific industry, you may join us for that event. So please expect an invitation again from us. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. All right. I think, Steven, you're ready again.
Yes, Mr. Sweet.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Okay, you may now proceed again.
Okay, I'm sorry again. Wala ako bigla. So, I think na-cut ako sa part na 'to. Is that right? Correct ko yun, Miss Rose? Dito sa part na slides na 'to na sorry, nawala?
Yeah. Yeah, correct, correct.
Okay, okay, okay. So, dun sa workspace experience with two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication, 'no? So, Citrix has a mechanism for using our Active Directory credentials, 'no? So we can have an OTP mechanism for a token. So not only we can use the common OTP, we can also leverage or use other authenticators like Google Authenticator, even Microsoft Authenticator. So we can securely log into our Citrix workspace. Now, an additional security side for Citrix is the text-based session watermarking. No? So in this case, Citrix is now enabling you to watermark your virtual session. So in the event na ma-compromise yung data na nasa screen mo or nasa session mo, we can trace the, I mean, exact source of the session, no? So it will also prevent the digging o naghahanap tayo which of our virtual machine yung nag-crash talaga, no? So we can enable we can configure our watermark through via policies, some of which are on this slide, no? So we can add the protocols, hostname, time series. So naka-pop out yan sa screen ng ating mga user. Besides that, we also have yung configuration logging. So this is for the administrator side, no? So with this, we have all the records of the administration performed on our infrastructure. So not only we can determine kung sino yung admin, we also can determine what are the changes and when did this happen, no? So as mentioned here, it is also important for admins, especially kapag nanghihingi ng audit trail for our compliance with our organization. So next up is the enhanced Citrix Workspace App protection. So when we are using Citrix Workspace App to so not to get confused, hindi ito yung pinaka security ng ating workspace, pati yung ating agent na workspace app is meron din siya security features, which is yung pinipigilan niya ang ating mga keyloggers and even yung mga uh, screen capture natin na potentially can steal your username, password, and even see or steal any critical data out of the organization, no? So next up is yung choice. So here with Citrix, so nag-invest si Citrix basically sa lahat talaga ng very flexible pagdating kay Citrix. So pwede tayo mag-opt out for any other forms of data sa kung gusto natin mag-cloud or gumamit tayo ng ibang mga PMAC. So Citrix encourages flexibility in our infrastructure. So let me show you two sides of the deployment when we are talking about Citrix virtual apps and desktop. No? So this is the traditional deployment, although pretty confusing since I'm sure hindi pa kayo gaano familiar, but uh, to be exact, this portion above here is all the Citrix components, no? Which are nandito rin sa resource location, but mainly, ito yung ating mga Citrix components na i-install natin sa ating mga machine. Then sila na yung bahalang mag-send sa ating mga user papunta kung anong klaseng application, anong klaseng desktop, anong klaseng mga data or information ang kailangan nila. Then this is the traditional one. This is the on-prem. So Citrix also has a cloud solution, basically lessening massively your IT overhead, no? And so with Citrix Cloud, lahat ng components na minamanage typically ng in-house IT natin, now is mapupunta na siya sa magiging operated na siya ni Citrix. So the only thing we were going to have now is yung resource location, since even with cloud, make sure pa rin ni Citrix that yung resource location is nasa atin pa rin and we can handle our yung mga ating mga applications and desktop as I mentioned. So nung sinabi ko na in-encourage ni Citrix ang flexibility when it comes to choice, one of is the multi-cloud or hybrid cloud strategies na. So not only Citrix can integrate with multiple cloud vendors, so shown here in this figure, yung mga public clouds natin na supported ni Citrix Workspace. We have the Azure, the Google Cloud, the VMware Cloud, AWS, Oracle Cloud, or even by leveraging uh, a private cloud, merong HCI or hyper-convergent infrastructure appliance, or even yung mga virtualization technology natin, like yung sa aming Citrix Hypervisor, Microsoft Hyper-V, VMware vSphere, and even Nutanix AHV. So ito yung mga important topic for anyone considering yung ating Citrix workspace. No? We also have hybrid cloud to double down on this flex to Citrix. So we have uh, multiple strategies now. So like we have on-prem or on-site for both sites, and even another resource location for public cloud. So we have the with the using this Citrix Virtual Apps Desktop service, although Citrix Cloud portion, no, but the Citrix to deliver yung ating mga applications and desktop on multiple repositories na makikita ng ating mga users on a single pane of glass. So, hindi sila aware kung hindi nila alam na yung isang app nila is nasa on-prem, then yung isang app pala nila is nasa cloud. So hindi na kailangan talaga mag-explore ng ating mga users at nasa isang pane na lang siya. Kaya lang to them to maximize yung efficiency sa work nila. This is more for the help desk side. No? So when we are managing our infrastructure, this is called the director. No? Citrix calls us the director in a single pane of glass for generating reports, troubleshooting, and analysis of your current environment. It also has sorry, advanced features integrated like the performance management of network analysis, application probing to check yung mga application before i-deliver sa actual user kung nag-work siya and it is not corrupted, no? So it also has a proactive notification and alerting since naka real time siya, so we can receive a notification the moment something in the infrastructure fails. Can also pinpoint the root cause connection and machine failures. Sorry. We also have the logon analysis to pinpoint issues or delay with regards to uh, the desktop since makita natin yung uptime, ilang oras siya nag-boot, and so on and so forth. No? So these are in this slide, I will show you some example of the reports that we can see from Citrix Director. No? So we're going to start with Citrix failure analysis. No? So we can see the trends. This yung sinasabi kung pagka nagka-crash yung ating mga system. So magpa-pop out siya dito. Then we also have yung load evaluator para makita natin kung may capacity pa or when it is time to provision yung more VMs, no? Dito, tas then yung log on performance, kung pasok ba siya sa ating kung may bumabagal ba mga script, mga policies. So may kita natin dito. Then we also have yung network utilization monitoring, no? So with this site, may eliminate natin yung network as a cause. So mas mapapabilis yung pag-troubleshoot natin ng mga problema sa infrastructure. Hmm. So here is the workspace UI user interface. Although nakita niyo na to sa mga past slide, I will show you yung sinasabi ko na kahit nasa ibang mga repositories yung ating mga application or desktop, sinashow siya ni Citrix ay isang pane of glass, no? With on-premise Windows application natin. So, existing to sa ating mga office or data center natin. Then, yung mga cloud-hosted nating application. Then, we also have yung mga SaaS and on-prem web apps, the on-prem desktops, cloud-hosted desktop, and even yung Windows virtual desktop on Azure, or as it is called now, Azure Virtual Desktop. Sorry. Even yung mga on-premise documents natin and cloud-hosted documents, no? So only Citrix provide a solution for every user that gives the application desktop the contents they need and even the devices they have to use, all in a secure digital perimeter. Going to pass through here licensing now quickly so that we can move on to our next speaker, the Citrix ADC side or the networks. No? It's more on the network side. So we have the virtual apps product line. So makikita nyo kanina napakaraming components ni Citrix, but when it comes to licensing, isa lang talaga yung kanyang licensing. It's either virtual apps or virtual apps and desktop. So for standard, just to give you a quick view, So mga server-based na application lang kaya niya i-publish. Then pagdating natin sa advanced plus, yung standard is yung mga hosted na application natin sa loob ng Windows 10. Pagdating sa premium is most robust and mga secure solution na pwede natin i-deliver sa ating mga users na may additional features din ni Citrix Director besides what was shown. So same format with this, no? So if we avail advanced, we have the standard, we avail premium, we have the advanced and standard. So with regards to apps and desktop, first is yung na-virtualize natin or yung VDI technology natin is starting from Windows 10 desktops or Linux operating system. When we touch on the desktop advanced, so dito na yung meron tayong ratioing, no? Pwede tayong mag one is to many, one Windows server equals to multiple users, no? So makakatipid tayo pagdating dito sa virtualization part ng server one is to many, no? Then the premium, similar with the apps, some additional security and monitoring features, plus integration with other products and even applications. So lastly is yung Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop Service. So when you've heard na merong service sa dulo, it's automatically a cloud-based solution, no? So listed here is yung mga capabilities and advantages with regards to cloud-based. Although this is already a common points when we always talk about cloud solutions, no? Lagi silang updated and sila na mismo nagma-manage ng infrastructure. We have a mm, unified console and also decrease massively yung ating IT overheads, no? So with that, I would like to pass on na yung ating speaker with Sir Royce Christian Mendoza, who will discuss yung Citrix ADC. And thank you and good afternoon again to everyone. Hi, Miss Rose.
All right. Thank you, Steven, for that information about our Citrix virtual apps and desktop. Of course, the service also, which is means cloud. Okay. May I ask before we proceed to the next topic, and of course, the last topic that we have for today, may I ask if you have any question about the CVAD? Yeah, feel free to send the question here on our chat box, or you may send us. You may turn on your microphone so you can speak what is on your mind. Any questions, guys? I think none from now. So maybe later after the ADC, you will have a question, or probably could exchange some clarification or inquiry that we could have in the future. Okay. Hi, Royce. Good afternoon. Are you ready?
Hi, Miss Rose. Good afternoon. Okay, I'm ready na for my presentation about Citrix ADC.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so once again, good afternoon. My name is Royce Christian Mendoza. You can call me Royce. So I'm a technical support engineer from WSI. I handle digital workspace and application delivery and security products of Citrix. So for today, I'm going to discuss an application delivery and security, which is Citrix Application Delivery Controller, or formerly known as Netscaler. Okay? So if you have any questions, just feel free to chat na lang dun sa chat panel natin, and we will accommodate your questions later on. Okay? So just to give you a background, so here are the product names that Citrix changed to unify and generalize all the Citrix products. So as you can see on this slide, the new name for the NetScaler ADC is Citrix ADC, and for the other products like Zen App and Zen Desktop, we have now the Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop. So nagbago lang tayo ng naming convention, but the product itself is still the same. So yun pa rin naman yung pag-virtualize ng apps and desktop natin. Si Netscaler is um, uh, of course, load balancer pa rin siya and wala namang nabago. Ang nabago lang natin dito is yung naming convention. And mas ginawa lang ni Citrix na generalize yung um, mga Citrix products natin. Okay? So for our agenda for today, I'm going to discuss to you the overview, HA and clustering, Citrix ADC SDX, traffic management, Citrix gateway, networking, and optimization. Okay? So to introduce to you what is Citrix ADC. So Citrix ADC is the most comprehensive application delivery and load balancing solution for small and medium-sized businesses, which means you can deliver a better user experience on any device, anywhere, and on any network. Okay. Citrix ADC also enhances the delivery of your customer's web application across our four principles. So first of all is availability, performance, offload, and security, and all of built on a common IT interface. Okay? So, si Citrix ADC is nagfo-focus dito sa apat na to: availability, performance, offload, and security. Okay? So, as you can see here, Citrix ADC enhances the delivery of your customers' web apps across ngayon the four principles, as I said, yung availability, offload, security, optimization. So as you can see here, on the availability, we have here load balancing. Citrix ADC has a capability of server load balancing, global server load balancing, content switching. So availability is more on the traffic management or proper distribution of traffic on your servers or on your data centers. And next is yung security. We have here SSL offloading, DOS protection, SSL VPN, and also we also have web application firewall for our layer 7 security and Citrix gateway. And for our optimization, we have compression, caching, surge protection that I will be discussed to you on the later slide. And we have multiple platforms. So SDX, MPX, VPX, CPX, and BLX. So this is all Citrix ADC. Ang nagkakaiba lang sa kanila is kung saan or kung ano yung kung naka-hardware ba sila or naka-software based ba sila. And sa licensing, we have three: standard, advanced, and premium. So I will be discussing to you all of this on the following slides. Okay. So now, I'm going to introduce muna the Citrix ADC Tri-Scale technology. So first is yung scale up. So dito sa scale up is um, with no new hardware, hindi na natin kailangan ng new hardware if we are going to upgrade from a specific throughput or a specific bandwidth. So for just like for example, your company requires a 10 gig throughput, but ang kaya lang i-handle ni Citrix ADC natin is for now is 1 gig. So all we need is to upgrade the license. And after we upgrade the license, we can now enable or we can now we can now enable the 10 gig capability of the Citrix ADC. So dito, hindi na tayo nagpalit ng hardware or kung naka-virtual na tayo, hindi na tayo kailangan magpalit ng virtual appliance. We just need to apply the license. Okay? Next is yung scale in. So sa scale in, dito pumapasok yung multi-tenancy. So Citrix ADC SDX is the multi-tenant platform of Citrix, which we can run up to 115 Citrix ADC VPX instances. Okay? And next is yung scale out. Sa scale out is dito na pumapasok yung clustering natin, which we combine the capabilities of multiple Citrix ADC and act as one. Okay. Okay. So next is yung high availability. So sa high availability, I think most of us is familiar what is high availability. So clustering or high availability appliance provides you with the highest level of performance and availability. So upgrade and maintenance, windows on your network are now least bit disruptive as live clusters automatically adapt to ensure persistent traffic flows are maintained. So this is the traditional HA. So of course, if we are going to if we are going redundant, or if we are going to highly avail, or if we're going to implement high availability on our NetScalers or on our Citrix ADC, we need two appliance. So the first appliance will be the primary, and the second appliance will be the secondary. So nag-uusap yung dalawa on port 3003, 3003. So nagsisend sila ng heartbeat for them to identify what is the current health status of the primary ADC. Of course, kasi secondary yung nakikipag-communicate kay primary on what is the health of the primary. Okay? So we have also here the external network, because Citrix ADC is a reverse proxy. So si Citrix ADC nakikipag-usap on behalf of the servers. Okay? And for the SDX, so as I said on the previous slide, we have a multi-tenant platform. So multi-tenant platform, or the multi-tenant platform of Citrix is Citrix ADC SDX. So we can run up to 115 Citrix ADC VPX instances sa loob nito. So meaning, we have virtualized environment sa loob ng hardware na to. So basically, this is a hardware. Merong hypervisor sa loob, which is Citrix Send Server. And doon tayo nag-create ng multiple instances of Citrix ADC for us to leverage, or for us to use in different departments or different organizations. Okay? So we can also run Palo Alto products, Palo Alto networks, and WebSense. So this is the comparative summary of Citrix ADC solution. So this is the most, or this is the typical, or this is the typical what we offer on Citrix ADC. So we have we have MPX, VPX, and SDX. So the MPX is the hardware appliance of Citrix. Same with Citrix ADC SDX, but Citrix ADC SDX, as I said, is a multi-tenant appliance. So meron nga siyang hypervisor sa loob na kayang mag-run up to 115 virtual instances. But kay Citrix ADC MPX is a standalone application delivery controller. So siya na mismo yung ADC, or siya na mismo yung appliance na gagamitin natin for us to load balance, for us to provide SSL VPN functionality or web application firewall. And what we have on the center is Citrix ADC VPX. This is a software-based virtual appliance that we can install, or that we install on our hypervisor, or on top of our hypervisor, such as Microsoft Hyper-V, VMware ES6i, Citrix Send Server, Nutanix EHV. So we can run Citrix ADC VPX on those hypervisor. So for the performance, Citrix ADC MPX can support up to 200 gigabits per second, or Gbps of throughput. And for the ADC VPX, 100 Gbps. And for the SDX, up to 200 Gbps also. So, so we have full ADC functionality. Excuse me. So we have full ADC functionality. So as I said, we can the features of Citrix ADC is basically um, based on the license that we apply. So we have na yung standard, advanced, and premium. So for the standard, lahat ng traffic management capabilities such as load balancing, Citrix Gateway, and SSL VPN is already included on the standard edition license. For the advanced is the traffic management plus the AAA, or Authentication, Authorization, and Audit. And for the premium edition, all of the features of standard and advanced plus the security, which is the web application firewall, bot management, already included on premium edition. So now I'm going to discuss naman yung traffic management of Citrix ADC. So Citrix ADC meets traditional application delivery controller needs. So as I said, it provides you highly available access to your applications, or highly available access to your servers, geographical failover for disaster recovery. So we can load balance different data centers with the use of Citrix ADC. So I have a diagram, or I have an image later on the following slide kung paano natin makikita yung pag-failover of disaster recovery. And next is yung secure remote access. Citrix ADC is also an SSL VPN technology for us to remotely access our, for example, our application or desktop on our office or on our data center. So increase performance and efficiency through server offload, caching, and compression. So this is with the use of SSL offloading. So I will be discussing to you all of this later on the later slides. So for the availability, server load balancing. So server load balancing or load balancing is basically load balancing of servers where Citrix ADC distributes the traffic to different servers on the back end. And for the content switching, so I'm just going to, so as I've said, we can, or Citrix ADC will distribute the traffic on the servers on the back ends. And next one is the layer 7 content switching. Content switching is like load balancing. It's also like a load balancing. So it represents the most optimal way to switch requests to the most appropriate server. So specific client attributes can be used, cookie, device type, browser type. We can use to forward the request, and request protocols such as get and post can also be used. And forwarding decisions can be based on any payload value on without this deep stream inspection. So basically, ang ginagawa ni content switching is si content switching yung nagpapadala sa atin kung saang appropriate server tayo papupunta. Okay? So just like for example, um, gamit natin is mobile phone and we need to access a specific server. So si content switching yung bahala, siya yung magche-check nung device type, for example, device type kung anong type of endpoint yung ginagamit mo and ipapadala ka niya sa appropriate server na nag-a-accommodate ng that device. So for example, na yung mobile phone na gamit. And next is yung global server load balancing. So global server load balancing is, I said a while ago, is the load balancing of your data center. So just like for example, we can implement here active passive or active active. So just like for example, nag-down yung site A natin, for example, may disaster na nangyari. Ang gagawin ni Citrix ADC will be yung traffic will be redirected to the available data center, which is dito sa slide na to, yung site. And next is yung SSL offloading. So SSL offloading is also a load balancing mechanism or load balancing technology that ang ginagawa ni ADC on this part is, of course, we usually communicate with our ADC with the use of SSL or encrypted tunnel. So ang kausap natin dito is SSL, so purely encrypted. So from the customer or from the user side to Citrix ADC will be fully encrypted. But from Citrix ADC to the backend servers will be offloaded. So ang gagawin ni Citrix ADC will be um, offloading or decrypting the traffic. So kung dito sa user to Citrix ADC, ang ginagamit natin is SSL. Dito naman from ADC to the server backend, ang gamit na natin is HTTP or um, port 80 na tayo. So ano yung parang naging advantage of using SSL offloading? Of course, yung mga servers natin, hindi na kailangan mag-decrypt ng mga traffic natin. Citrix ADC na bahala mag-decrypt on behalf of the servers. Next is yung secure and remote access to Citrix virtual apps and desktops. So as we all know, nung nag-start yung pandemic nag-start ng pandemic ng 2020, most of us is in-enable yung work from home setup. So nag-work from home tayo and most of the companies is hindi naman ganun ka-ready or hindi naman ready sa mga ganung type of situation. So dito, Citrix ADC also provides a secure and remote access to Citrix virtual apps and desktop. So yung diniscuss ni Steven kanina, yung Citrix virtual apps and desktop is, as I've said, a virtualization of applications and desktop that we can deliver to our users on anywhere, anytype, on any device. Dito, ang ginagawa natin is we can integrate Citrix ADC to Citrix virtual apps and desktop for us to securely access yung CVAD natin or yung Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop environment natin. And ang pinaka-advantage of using Citrix ADC for Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop is Citrix ADC supports the protocol of Citrix, which is yung high definition experience or yung HDX monitoring. So that is one of the main edge of Citrix ADC for Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop. And aside from that, hindi lang natin siya pwedeng integrate the Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop, but we can also integrate it, or we can also securely access our web applications on our on-premise, on our data center. We can also integrate it on our cloud applications or SaaS applications. So if you have also mobile application, we can integrate Citrix Gateway for us to access it externally. So simplified Citrix Gateway and Storefront integration. So Storefront is a domain join server. So this is a domain join server that dito lahat nag-i-store yung mga applications natin. So as I've said, this is a enterprise app store. So dito naka-store yung mga applications natin, and dito we can integrate Citrix Gateway to Storefront for us to enable single sign-on. And aside from providing single sign-on, we can also enable two-factor or multi-factor authentication of Citrix Gateway for us to add another layer of security on our Citrix environment. Next is networking. So as I've said, Citrix ADC is a proxy. So Citrix ADC can act as a reverse proxy or a forward proxy. So server load balancing for IPv6 and IPv4 are supported. So we also have a web application firewall available on Premium Edition. So web application firewall for IPv6. So static and dynamic routing support. NAT 64 and NAT 46 and DNS 64 is also available on Citrix ADC. So basically, NAT 64 is translation of IPv6 to IPv4, and NAT 46 is from IPv4 to IPv6. So ACL is also available. RNAT, INAT, IPv6 management. Um, no additional license for IPv6. So all of that is available on standard, advanced, and premium licenses of Citrix ADC. So SLD 64 or server load balancing 64. So dito basically, as I said or as I've discussed on our previous slide on the load balancing part, we load balance servers. But dito, ang nilo-load balance natin is IPv4 server, but yung VIP natin, which is the virtual IP, yung virtual IP dito kumo-connect yung mga users natin for us to access our servers, is using IPv6. Okay? So IPv4 users or IPv6 users can Citrix ADC can accommodate any type of user, so any type of IP addresses. So next is yung IPv6 application load balancing. So dito, yung back-end naman natin, yung IPv6, which is yung mga servers natin on the back-end. And yung nasa harap natin, which is yung mga users natin, will be IPv4 and IPv6. So dito, Citrix ADC also support IPv4, IPv6. So support matrix, so client-facing. So the virtual IP address is for client-facing, and SNP or subnet IP address will be server-facing. So kung makikita natin, meron tayong dalawang IP addresses dito. Yung SNP yung nakikipag-usap sa back-end, yung virtual IP yung nakikipag-usap sa front-end or dun sa mga users natin. So dito makikita natin yung IPv4 support for client-facing and server-facing, IPv6 and IPv4 support, IPv4 and IPv6 support, IPv6 and IPv6 support for client-facing and server-facing. So next is yung dynamic routing capability of Citrix ADC. So dito meron tayong routing information protocol or yung RIP version 2. Citrix ADC also support Open Shortest Path First or yung OSPF version 2. We also support border gateway protocol. and Cetra, which is again our IP next generation for IPv6. We also support that. For the optimization, so I'm going to discuss few optimizations na lang. So dito, we also have integrated caching or app cache. So the integrated cache provides you in-memory storage on the Citrix ADC appliance and serves web content to users without requiring a round trip to an origin server. So Citrix ADC can be deployed also on a virtualized platform. We can deploy on the most of the industry's hypervisor, Microsoft Hyper-V, VMware, Citrix Hypervisor, KVM, and Citrix ADC is also available on cloud or on our public cloud, AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform is also available, SoftLayer available, and performance up to 100 Gbps. So Citrix ADC leads the market in the innovation and vision with capabilities that give us a competitive advantage. So I think this is my last slide. Do you have any questions about application delivery controller or formerly known as NetScaler? So that would be from my presentation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Royce, for that. And again, thank you so much, Mr. Steven and Royce. That was a very informative presentation. So if there's a question, you may leave it in the question box located at the right panel on your screen, or you may raise your hand and unmute yourself. Okay? Pero siguro, while waiting for... is, is there someone who unmuted their microphone? Yeah, I think wala naman. Okay. So guys, again, if you have any question, feel free to send here. Earlier may nag-ask si Miss Allen or Sir Allen, is volume licensing available? So nasagot naman na siya ni Steven. Yes, Citrix has volume licensing available po. So, siguro ako din yung mag-ask Royce, no? Para at least makarelate lang sila attendees natin. Question lang dun sa ating CVAD, paano siya nagagamit externally? Or paano siya na-access externally?
Okay. Okay, si Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop is hindi talaga siya natin na-access externally. But with the
Mm.
integration of Citrix Application Delivery Controller or Citrix ADC and its feature, yung Citrix Gateway, we can access yung Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop deployment natin or yung virtualized applications and desktop natin with the use of Citrix ADC nga or yung feature ni Citrix ADC na Citrix Gateway. So dito, yun nga, as I said, yung pinaka-advantage natin is Citrix supports yung protocol or Citrix ADC supports yung protocol na ginagamit natin which is yung HTX and it provides you HDX proxy. So ang ginagawa ni Citrix ADC is pinoproxy niya yung mga external connection papunta doon sa Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop environment natin or yung Citrix infrastructure natin at the back end.
I see. Okay. Then one more question, Royce. We believe that Citrix virtual apps and desktop became more popular, especially in nag-pandemic because of the work from home setup. So now going back to the reality, we are already at alert number 1. I'm not sure in Cebu and Davao if what level na. But yes, of course, we are already going back to our original lifestyle, which is talagang pumapasok sa office yung mga employees natin. So, very limited na rin yung mga naka-work from home. So, do you think, alert number 2, okay. Thank you for that, Miss Eunice. Okay. But still, yes, we're already going back now to the old lifestyle that we have for the work from home setups. Hindi na siya applicable as of today. And even probably in the future, mahirap na ulit makabalik for the work from home setup because most of the companies, especially here in Metro Manila and probably not just here in Metro Manila, is nag-start na again to go back to office. So, Royce, for the CVAD, if it's popular in using as a work from home solution, what other solution applies to the CVAD?
Okay, so for Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop, so as you said nga, Miss Rose, lahat nga tayo is mostly bumabalik na sa office and
Mm-mm.
I think Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop or yung ginagawa ni Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop will be remain or magre-remain pa rin sa atin. Since ano pa yung mga naging advantage of Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop? Of course, yung centralized management, centralized files, yung mga files natin is on our data center is of course a security protocol or security feature yan ni Citrix. And ayun, yung I think yung mga work from home setup natin ngayon is I think most of the companies is magre-remain pa dito or yung iba naman is um ay i-enable yung hybrid na may pumapasok sa office or meron ding nag-work from home. And I think hindi naman magbabago hindi naman magbabago yung kay Citrix. We can also kahit naka-office tayo, we can of course enable pa rin yung virtualization of applications and desktop pa rin. Ayan.
And by the way, we have another question by Royce and Steven from Mr. Roderick Ortega. So, how about the security protocol on this kind of technology, application and platform? Technology, application, and platform.
Okay, so for security protocol on this kind of technology, so ang ginagamit nating protocol or ang ginagamit na protocol ni Citrix is yung in-invent niya mismo na protocol which is yung HDX. So kung meron tayong parang nagdadalawang isip kung gagamit tayo ng Citrix, dito Citrix also enables or Citrix also ensures na yung mga pag-access natin doon sa mga applications or yung pag-access natin sa mga desktops natin is secured and delivered with the best user experience without compromising security. So we can add pa rin naman na different security protocols like multi-factor authentication, two-factor authentication dun sa mga pag-access natin dun sa mga applications natin. And dun sa platform, so platform natin is, I think, kung di ako nagkakamali dito sa term na platform is kung nasa cloud tayo or naka-on-prem tayo. So of course, kapag naka-on-prem tayo, all of the Citrix components, all of the resource location or yung mga resources or apps and desktop files, lahat yon is tayo magmamanage. And kapag naka-Citrix Cloud naman tayo, lahat yon is managed by Citrix and all the necessary security patches, updates, upgrades of our Citrix infrastructure on Citrix Cloud will be handled by Citrix na. And ang gagawin na lang natin is basically to manage or to configure yung deployment natin or Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop deployment natin.
Okay, thank you, Royce. And last question, probably from myself. May I ask if we are able to do or conduct a product demonstration. Probably ito yung question ng mga end user, no? Paano yan? Software yan? Can we do have a product, a trial license or a demo license?
Basically Citrix virtual apps and desktop kung meron tayong capability to install Citrix virtual apps and desktop is meron siyang free 30-day trial. So merong trial sa Citrix virtual apps and desktop for 30 days. But for Citrix ADC, they need to request ay they need to request or kailangan nyo mag-request sa amin ng trial license for us to give you a trial license for a specific period of time. So ayan. And all of the Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop components naman is running on Windows Server. So basically dependent din tayo sa Microsoft licenses on Citrix.
Okay, thank you, Royce. Any more questions from our attendees? Okay, any more questions, guys? So yeah, I think okay naman na. And by the way, again, this is to inform you, WSI, we are very willing to do a presentation or even to conduct a demonstration to your team. Just please message us. What's the requirement or what do you want to see on the Citrix solution that we have. And I guess that's it. We hope you had learned something from us today. On behalf of Citrix and WSI, thank you for all making time in your busy schedules and of course to join us today. we are looking forward to hear from you again through our feedback form. So later or after this event, we will check the feedback form kung sino ba yung mga interested or probably may requirement with this kind of solution. Okay? If you wish to get our experts' contact details and set up a one-on-one presentation with them, details will be provided on the screen. If you have any question, feel free to send a message. So I wish you all a pleasant day ahead and we look forward to have a transaction with you. And of course, stay safe everyone. And please expect lots of invitation coming from the Citrix team of WSI. Again, thank you so much guys. Thank you everyone.